The freshly unveiled iPhone 15 and 15 Pro at Apple's annual fall announcement boast a host of new features and improvements, from the migration to USB-C and titanium finish to the upgraded cameras and the A17 Pro chip. These new iPhones are sure to get a lot of people excited. But are all of these new features really something that warrants an upgrade? Over the next few weeks, the internet and Apple's marketing machine are going to convince you that you absolutely need these new phones. I'm here to convince you otherwise. Let's get into it. All across YouTube, you're undoubtedly going to see every tech reviewer go into intricate detail about all the new specs, the reduction in weight, the crazy new cameras, every change coming to the 15 and 15 Pro. And who can blame them? The reason that people like myself get into making videos about tech products is because we get excited about new technology, and there's no company that's better at making new tech exciting than Apple. And a disclaimer, I am an Apple fanboy who uses almost all of their products, so don't come at me thinking that I'm just some disgruntled green bubbler. But that said, we have long been approaching the diminishing returns when it comes to new features that they can add to the phone. For example, Apple spent a bunch of time touting the new cameras, and as a full-time photographer and videographer, this is obviously something that caught my eye. But when you look at it a little bit further, you'll realize that some of the upgrades aren't as substantial as they may seem. They mentioned that the newly improved 1x camera can capture in 24, 28, and 35mm focal ranges. But these aren't actually unique lenses. They're just allowing you to digitally crop from the 1x 24mm lens. The same thing could be accomplished by cropping in a photo that you took on your existing iPhone's camera. So is that really an upgrade or a mild convenience? They also seemingly haven't made any substantial upgrades to the sensors on the wide angle or the front-facing cameras, which are actually the only ones that I have ever felt truly needed more work from the iPhone 14 models. Apple also mentioned that the iPhone 15 Pro can record ProRes up to 4K 60, which sent my creator Twitter timeline into an absolute frenzy of excitement. Until you read the fine print. You can record 4K 60 ProRes only when recording to an external drive, which is cool and all, and I understand the storage limitations of ProRes at 4K 60, but that almost completely defeats the purpose of having that quality of video in something as portable as an iPhone. If you have to rig it to an SSD, it's not actually that portable. Now, I will admit, for me, the addition of a log profile is super compelling. The ability to properly color grade your iPhone footage to get it to match a high-end mirrorless camera is very exciting. But if you're watching this, I want you to let me know in the comments how confident you are in your color grading abilities. Chances are you probably don't need a log profile. But if you're a creative professional and you just need the latest and greatest always, then fine. But you probably already have a better tool for this job anyways. So one of the biggest changes they've made with the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro is the port. Farewell Lightning cable, hello USB-C. I'll admit USB-C is a vastly better technology in almost every conceivable way, so it's great to see that Apple has finally joined the party, albeit a few years late. This is great. It gives you access to fast charging, proper transferring for your photos and videos, and that external recording thing that we were just talking about. And something that they didn't even mention in the event, you can actually charge your other Apple accessories with your iPhone, which, love that. Having one cable for all of your tech is going to be a huge benefit, but know that it's going to take some time for the rest of the world and all of your friends to catch up. So you may have issues finding a compatible charger or charging port next time your fancy new iPhone is running out of juice on the plane or at your friend's house. The new 14 Pro models are also made from titanium, which is cool. It's light, it's durable, it's more sustainable, and it looks sleek as hell. And maybe this makes you want one, but let's pump the brakes here for just a little bit. First, when have you ever thought that your phone was just too heavy? Probably never. I also want you to take a look at that phone that you're probably watching this video on right now. Does that have a case on it? I thought so. So do you really need that fancy new titanium finish? And on the topic of sustainability, Apple really hammered on this topic. I counted. They mentioned their carbon neutral pledge 30 times over the course of their presentation. I'm not sure if that's more them trying to make themselves feel better or trying to make you feel worse about not being more carbon neutral yourself. But you know what's more sustainable than titanium? Not buying a new iPhone when your other one that you have already is perfectly capable. Now, it's not lost on me that I am part of the problem. Here on YouTube, I make videos to help creators make better content, and a substantial portion of that revolves around talking about the latest gear. You should subscribe if you're into that kind of thing. I know that I contribute to shiny new object and gear acquisition syndromes, just as much as every other tech reviewer out there. But I also always try to keep it real with you all, to let you know where I see value and where I don't. So if you've got the budget and you're still rocking an iPhone 10 or an 11, it's likely that this is going to be a massive upgrade for you, and maybe it is time to pull the trigger on the iPhone 15. Or if you're really into capturing high quality photos and videos, the 15 Pro. But if you want to save a boatload of money, I think the launch of the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 presents a different opportunity for you. You can instead buy the iPhone 14 or 14 Pro models. The new price of one will decrease nicely as a result of the 15's launch. Even better, take a peek on Facebook Marketplace. Look for someone selling a well-cared-for 14 or even 13 Pro model, and just make sure that they share a screenshot of the battery health rating before meeting up with them in a dark alley. Without upgrading to the 15 series, you're still going to see a lot of nice improvements from just iOS 17, which is going to release on the 18th of September and is compatible all the way back to the iPhone XS. Don't get me wrong, the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro models are amazing, and you'll undoubtedly feel great for a few weeks when you first unbox yours. But that feeling of excitement will fade almost as quickly as it comes. So in our world of capitalist consumerism, I hope this video can remind you that you don't actually need all that fancy new stuff. And if I saved you a couple of bucks today, consider hitting subscribe. It's free.